This week, it's what you've been waiting for. One stars, we're done with our annual college athletic director road trip. It is done. I'm back in Hawaii. Rip is back in Cali. The NBA playoffs are going on. Closers in baseball, Rip's reactions, all your favorites in this one star only catch-up episode.
This episode of One Star Recruits, as always, is brought to you by 500level.com. The best t-shirts in sports. The NBA playoffs are in full effect. All the breakout stars, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, SGA from the Thunder. They all have awesome t-shirts on 500level.com, unlike anything you'll find anywhere else on the internet. Use the discount code PODCAST at checkout for 20% off everything on the site. Let's go!
Yo, aloha. Right off the bat, Rip, I've changed my hat twice. My hat, I know this is bad podcasting. I have my Maui hat on now. My previous hat was this Titleist hat, which I had on. It was sitting in my truck bed, and it got some rain on it. And I put it on, and then I looked at it, and I noticed that small little bits of what could be mold, could be dirt. I need to get I'm going to go ahead and do a challenge call on this one. Call a challenge. I need your opinion on this one. Is this a throwaway mold? Is that a black mold situation? Or is this a wash and wear situation?
We do recommendations of the week later in the show, but there's this awesome product called OxyClean that I use to get grass stains and dirt out of my kids' Little League pants. You got to spray some OxyClean on it, let it go for like 5 minutes, let it soak in and saturate the hat, throw it in the washer. That'll tell you right there. If it doesn't come out, it's a throwaway. If it does come out, you might have a new looking hat on your hands. But the problem with washing it is it might ruin that bill.
Might ruin the bill. I don't have a hat wash thing. Yeah, and I'm noticing now like the same amount of what could be mold potentially is now on the inside headband area, which means that goes right to your forehead. Instant zits, immediate zits. This might be a throwaway. It's a good golf hat. I hate to lose it. White hats, though, only have a certain... I probably have other hats that are showing this. It's been very rainy here in Kauai. Like, way more rainier than I thought Hawaii is. Maybe it's the area that I live in. I can't just leave stuff around, bro. Like, I gotta... Otherwise, this happens. Bill is ruined. Wonderful golf hat ruined. Welcome to the podcast, bro. I'm back home. You're back home. A little bit of weird way to start it. Whatever. I feel good, Rip. I feel loose. I feel good. Good that summer's coming along. That means like interesting questions start getting thrown out to the sports media landscape. Obviously, there's this big NBA playoffs push that we're all getting. Whoosh, as words is hitting us in the face and all this stuff. It's good stuff. But then you kind of get the side talk of this NFL conversation because NFL is always going to battle for time in the 365 days a year schedule. There's no situation where the NFL is ever like, no, I'm just gonna sit this one out and chill. And then I saw this question, which I thought was pretty smart. It came from Nepo Baby, good old Nepo Baby, hoops analyst Austin Rivers. He's a pretty good basketball player. I don't like that people hate on him. I actually like Austin, and I like his personality on podcasts. Pose this question, Rip. Are you with me? Are you there? Am I just talking to myself?
I'm waiting for your run-on sentence to finish, man. What do you got here? You got a question for me?
I'm excited to be back. I'm just fired up to be back here. And that's probably like 7 ums already is how unfresh I am from talking about a college town. I'm prepared to talk about a college town with you now every single damn episode, Rip. But back to Austin Rivers, this question. He said, I can take 30 players right now in the NBA and throw them in the NFL. You cannot take 30 NFL players and put them in the NBA. I thought, very interesting. Very interesting. What do you think, Rip? You want me to repeat that question? What do you think about that?
You don't need to repeat it. I disagree, man. These guys are all great athletes, but I think they kind of take it for granted the amount of time and years they put into training for their individual sports. I mean, some of these guys have stopped playing basketball or stopped playing football right at high school, in the middle of high school, or at least after high school to focus on their one sport. That's like 10 years of training that you can't make up for. There's no way, man. If you put an NBA player like Anthony Edwards or someone in the NFL as a wide receiver, he's not catching balls that 5th and 6th string receivers are catching.
And that's the wrong position for him, Rip. Anyway, that's why you suck at this game. Old man style. You might be right. You probably are correct. As you always are. Funny thing about this podcast, you're usually right on almost all of our life advice and like 60% of our sports stuff, but this could be an argument. LeBron, tight end, that's his position. It's clear as day. We've talked, this has been heard of before. Westbrook, defensive back. Anthony Edwards, you said wide receiver, Rip, incorrect. That man is a free safety. That man is a free safety or tight end. Steph, slot receiver. How about Zion? Zion, probably a great left tackle. You could let him eat at left tackle too. You know what I mean? Let him enjoy food. Probably a happier camper. You can enjoy sex and food and still be a great left tackle, in my humble opinion. Your boy Bankero. That's a right end defensive end rusher. Boom, off the edge. I struggle with Jason Tatum. What do you think? My mind goes to quarterback. Is Jason Tatum, could he play in the NFL? Are these stupid? As I say, I'm Rip. Are you like, oh yeah, DK's kind of right?
I mean, did you listen to my answer? I'm out on this. I'm out on this
None of
idea.
those names or positions thought, oh, maybe he's right a little bit. It might change your mind.
It's fun to think about, and imagine LeBron in a Browns jersey catching a touchdown, and he might catch
Easily,
more
it could
touchdowns.
do it, and it would happen. You're telling me Steph slot receiver, he couldn't be successful.
No, I'll take David Njoku over LeBron any day.
Sweet Lord. Steven Adams at left tackle. You're not thinking about picking him seventh from Auckland.
He would get bulldozed by Aaron Donald and Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, those guys. He would have no chance.
I'm not changing your mind early in this podcast. DJ Burns, from the Wolfpack, North Carolina Wolfpack, guard, right guard. Come on, give me this one. DJ Burns.
He'll be on the Rio Grande Valley Vipers next year. You'll find him in Rio Grande down there.
He'll be on the one-star recruits pretty soon, man. I'm looking forward to it. DJ, talk about this. We'll talk about this because I think you could probably even play tight end, big dog. If you're hearing this, you want to clip this one, Rip. Maybe idea alert. This could be stupid too. Preseason is a joke anyway. Jokish, as one would say. That's a basketball pun. Maybe have NFL and NBA players just do each other's preseason for a game or two. Ticket sales, add bobbleheads, switch it up. I would watch. There you go. Netflix Live. Killing it. Tom Brady roast. Amazing. 5 stars. Recommend it. Hilarious. Maybe this is the next new thing. Preseason switch. We get to see this come true, Rip. Get to see it happen.
You're thinking like a true Savannah Bananas marketing department employee right there. I mean, it could work, but yeah, it's all going to be for ratings and revenue and more profit. But yeah, it could work. I mean, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Come on, that's a one-star
You're
idea.
probably right, old man. You're probably right, T-ball coach. It's it's fun to think about. No chance for success. I just watched Micah Parson and your boy CJ Stroud throw out baseball. So I think they were in Korea or Japan. Incredibly embarrassing. 5-star level of terrible throw, which always surprises me when the quarterbacks in particular can't throw a baseball. I get it. Smaller, weird situation. Surprisingly terrible. Your boy Rip, resident goon, Zach Edey threw out the first pitch at Wrigley. Terrible. Google it, listeners. Go ahead. Give a Google to that one. That's going to be one of the top 10 worst ever. That makes sense. That man shouldn't be on a mound. However, I think he did pitch in college a little bit or high school. Who knows? I'm really doing run-on sentences, man. Some good run-on podcasting on this one. Bottom line is no chance for success. You're right, Rip. I'm agreeing with you. It's kind of like throwing them into a PGA Tour event, to be honest with you. Maybe Steph has a kind of a chance, like you said. Maybe he can make a team. Like maybe a Greg Dortch can make a roster. Steph can maybe make a roster. Premier League soccer, no chance. Major League darts, zero fucking chance. Any of these guys are even making it out of the first round. Better chance. Greg in Phoenix, better chance. Wearing your steroid shirt. Playing high-level football is the equivalent, bro, to getting hit by a car every single week. That's what people don't understand. That's really the thing. Repeatedly at 60 miles for 60 minutes and then saying, let's do it again. Repeatedly having a couple car accidents and then next week saying, let's do that again. So I have respect for hoopers, but there is no chance. Zero chance, Rip.
The NFL is like a car wreck. I'm going to throw something interesting into the mix here. I had a dentist appointment this morning. My dental hygienist for the last few years, she was a water polo player at USC about 10 years ago. She told me the goalie on her team had to medically retire because of multiple concussions in women's water polo. I said, how do you get concussions from women's water polo? She said getting hit by the ball in the head. Can you believe they're throwing that hard in women's water polo where someone tries to shoot a goal and you're getting blasted with a water polo ball and you get a concussion? Did you know that?
Blasted. No diddy, Rip. I mean, I didn't, but it makes sense. Probably some slaps in the face. Probably a lot of Joel Embiid slaps too in the pool. Follow through. Just slap a pool player. You ever tried to do water polo, Rip? This is something you need to sign up for at your local men's league. Go over to your local JCC or local YMCA, wherever they have a pool. I don't know if public pools are even active or exist. I live by the damn beach, Rip. I don't have to worry about it. But you need to go try water polo. Have you ever done it?
I'm a one star. I'm really good at water polo if it's a 4 foot pool, but once it becomes a 10 foot pool where you have to tread water for more than 3 minutes, I'm out, man. I'm a one star.
And that's the whole thing people don't think about. There is zero standing and there is zero grabbing of the wall. It's torture sport. Fucking torture sport. You got an egg beater. You ever seen Rip egg beater? Looks like a damn Q-tip in the pool trying to just survive. Those little legs of yours, Rip. Can't
Like a sperm swimming
little
through
yeah.
swimming through the wide ocean.
Sperm polo. Spurlo. Yeah, bro. It's very go. You want a fucking workout, listeners? You want the ultimate workout? You want to get in shape as quick as you can ever get into shape and be welcomed like you're walking into the bar and cheers? Go sign up for a local water polo class. They'll give you a standing ovation for coming in. It's the same 8 dudes for the last 8 years from a couple community college and then a couple Ivy League schools combined as the mixture you get at your local gym. Very difficult though, man. Big egg beater move. NBA playoffs, though, back to it. NBA playoffs are the best. They just are the best. These are the best athletes, in my opinion. No disrespect to the NFL, but the best athletes, in my opinion, playing at the highest level, most active physically and mentally level of wanting to win, understanding positions, and then understanding the dance of the playoffs, these 7-game series, essentially where we're at right now. Can't miss in new age players, what the NBA is becoming a little bit. Cannot miss series. Knicks Pacers. Got a couple games under our belt so far. We're back, bro. We're back to the 1980s and 90s. It feels like it. It felt like it. Steph Marbury was sitting baseline with John Starks, getting as fired up as he would, dropping a dime to Spreewell. Give me some other players, Camby. Give me some other Knicks players. Larry Johnson. Who else would be dropping a dime to? He was fucking fired up, Rip, at MSG. That was nice to see.
I'll throw it back to last week when my listener, loyal listener Miguel from Hawthorne texted me, all the 2010 stars are done. If you look in the playoffs right now, you don't see any of them left. Jimmy Butler's trolling people and getting thrown under the bus by his GM. Kawhi Leonard, he's out. Kevin Durant's out. Steph Curry's out. It's all these new guys. It's Jalen Brunson. It's SGA. It's Anthony Edwards. It's all the young guys that are still left. It's Luka. So the 2010s guys are done. I think the script has been flipped and the torch has been passed.
Boston versus Cavs suddenly becomes the most boring series, which is wild pretty quickly. But guess what? If Spida and my guy Big Ev can get a couple dubs going, the plot thickens out there pretty damn quickly, just like the stew got thick in Denver. The Rocky Mountain Oyster just got fucking burnt. Rip. The Nuggets can't go out like this. 1-star supporters. Check the records. 7, 8 Nuggets on this podcast. Rip. Usually get a Nugget preseason, get a championship ring. What happens with the 1-star recruits and the Nuggets pretty much, but embarrassing, stunning game 2 loss that makes you question everything you thought about this team. Are they even 1-star recruits, Rip? Are they? What's happening here?
It is interesting. If our guy Nick O'Hare is listening over in Denver, we had the first round pick on the last couple of years, and they had crazy success. It was like an uphill climb, and you could see it. This year, we haven't had a Nugget on, and they're down 2-0. Let's see. I'm not giving up on the Nuggets. I picked them to get to the finals against Boston. They're down 2-0. We got a huge game 3 on Friday in Minneapolis. I'm still taking the Nuggets 4-2. They're going to win the next 4. Let's speak it into existence.
I'm not saying the tea leaves are there for our guy Nick to read. You know what I mean, Rip? And we've been wanting Joker. Michael Porter, I see how active you are on podcasts. You might need to chill out a little bit because this is Rip thinks the comeback's coming. You're biggest flip flopper I know, pretty much. My podcast partner here. T Wolves are coming together. It's literally this is something that you can see and watch. Everybody who knows basketball can see, oh, this is coming together. This is gonna be a delicious dish. It's getting golden brown and delicious right now in the salamander. This Timberwolves team. It's really gonna just turning out nice. And your boy Rip, your wreck of the week a couple weeks ago, Rudy Gobert. Although he was nowhere to be seen, it's a different conversation. Maybe that's a conversation for now. Shit, this is just a 1 star only podcast, Rip. What do you think about having a kid? The guy who says, I will see the kid its whole life and I'm going to the playoff games to win a championship, or the guy who says I'm going to see the birth of my kid? Which guy do you want on your team?
I mean, it's a conference semifinals game where you're up 1-0. They won by 26, so I think he made the right decision. I mean, if you can call him out, hindsight's 2020. If it's game 7 of the finals, I think it's another conversation, but he made the right choice. No one
That's
can
the
question
thing.
that.
That's the thing. You win, nothing matters. They might be a little better with them. That's so interesting. That whole thing. Biggest takeaway for me so far, Jaden McDaniels, Alexander Walker, the defense of the Timberwolves. When they kind of locked down and really decided to lock down, frustration grew like crazy. I don't think I've seen this Nuggets team this flabbergasted. Rip, this discombobulated, if you will. Jamal Murray in particular, he's used to creating his space, finding room off those screens to either drive or find his shot. He's used to being comfortable. Dude has been uncomfortable. Tim Connolly, big GM, who everybody thought was the world's biggest dummy after trading the house for Rip's boy, Rudy G, your recommendation of the week a couple weeks ago. Reading his book on tape, Rip, you big love bug. You better be prepared to rep this guy in France. And everybody knows that you're the biggest Rudy G guy around here. But the NBA is funny, dude. The NBA is really, really funny. You're going to have a good time figuring out your playoff game schedule. You're going to fall in love deeper with this Timberwolves team, Rip, as you are actually in France. I think you're going to maybe switch your second team from the Suns to the Timberwolves as your possible second team.
That won't happen. I'm not going to root for anybody that beats the Suns like that. Yeah, I'm rooting hard against Minnesota. Let's go Celtics. Let's go Nuggets.
Some people saying the Suns maybe aren't that bad. Is that Monday morning quarterback? Does that statement make you feel better at all?
Absolutely, Monday morning quarterback. I mean, you're judging it off 2 games. Come on. Let's see what
Come
happens
on,
the rest of the
me.
way.
Yeah, NBA is funny. Like I said, it's like fashion. Things come out in vogue. They come, they go out. It was a big man league when you had Shaq and Yao, 5 star. Add 1 star. Add this guy to the list of guests that we need. Roy Hibbert ruined all of that for big men, by the way, Roy. No disrespect, just bad timing. Superstar teams were next. Boston, the big 3 in Miami, KD and Golden State kind of put that to bed a little bit. 3-point is king. Golden State Warriors doing their thing. JJ Redick, analytics kicks in like crazy. It keeps going. Then you get the bigs who can play and guard all the positions. It's fashion. It's a different haircut. The mullet. It's like the mullet. Now all of a sudden defense is back. Defense is back. And unless Denver, I'm not really 100% what's going on with the Denver Nuggets at home in these slow ass starts. I think this is normal. I think I remember watching this with the Warriors dynasty sometimes when they would start off slow, big third quarter team that needed that push. But if the defense is that big and tall and engaged, this is NCAA tournament engagement level defense from the Timberwolves. Guess what? Defense is back, which hoops people gotta love. We gotta love it. Defense is back, Rip. How about that? I just ran you through an entire fashion run through of the NBA. A lot of people say fashion starts in Japan, works its way over to Europe, and it hits the United States completely last, bro. We're last on the fashion train. Pretty much everything that you see in the United States was in Japan 3 years ago. What do you think about that?
You're saying Shohei Ohtani's a trendsetter? I should dress like he's dressing right now?
He knows it. He knows it. Just don't dress like Randy Moss on the Tom Brady roast. He got killed. Your boy Randy Moss wearing a mock turtleneck, little half pull up rip. You'll never be caught dead on that anyway. You ready for your vacation? You getting packed up? You bringing any hoodies?
I'm starting. I got my Trash Talk Boys t-shirt. I got my One Star t-shirt. I'd probably need to bring some fancy clothes. I'm going for our anniversary, so we'll probably end up going out to dinner at some fancy escargot caviar place. I need to dress up. I can't just wear basketball shorts over there.
What does dress up mean for Rip? What are you gonna break off? You're gonna break out a good set of chinos and a seven diamonds button up? What's a nice outfit for you? You're going to Paris. I mean, it's not like you're breaking out a
Some business casual and an Arizona Diamondback shirt. Is that what you're saying? I mean, I work
500
from
level. Yeah, your Randy Johnson shirt's not gonna apply while you're trying to get some mise en place.
I've been working from home for about 4 years, so I'm a little bit out on the office casual dress. My clothes are pretty old, but I might have something in the closet I can wear over there, a button up with some cactuses on it or something like that. We'll see. Are
You
there
got
cactuses in France? Are there cacti in France?
No cacti that I remember, but wearing a cacti might be in play. Here's the deal. When you travel to different places, your stuff that's a little bit cheesy and say your hometown of Arizona, perhaps if you did put on a pair of Ben Davis shorts, some White Sox pulled up, some Cortezes with a 500 level t-shirt and cruise through the six arrondissement, dude, you would probably get a lot more respect than you would cruising through Gilbert, in my humble opinion. You should don't let your freak flag go a little bit. Think it forward. You might need a blazer type thing. Rip, if you're really going to go to a nice restaurant, because some of them require it. Here's the thing. You can spend a couple euros though. Buy yourself one or two things. Here's what I love about shopping, and particularly going over to Europe and spending a little bit of euros on the clothes. You get to wear them during that time and feel like a local. That's great. You get to feel comfortable. It's awesome. In fact, I got, what was my humble pickup that I just loved? Oh, I got a PSG, Michael Jordan, Paris, the soccer team in Paris, which is great merch. They have team stores there. I got a hoodie and a t-shirt that I got it back to Hawaii, and I just loved it every time I wore it. The whole thing of this is you get to buy some cool merch, maybe a blazer, and then whenever you put it back on, it reminds you of that trip, and you feel good about it. What's better than feeling good? That's it. What do you think? So
I li
you can buy shit there is the moral of that story.
I like that strategy. Maybe some really short shorts, and then yeah, when I come back here, I'll just wear them to pick up
Oh
my kids
yeah,
at
dude.
school and get some
Number
crazy looks.
number one, top three, not number one, top three things for me to do in Europe. Wear the jean short cutoffs and roll them up, and they're a little tight. And I don't know why I like it, but that's still big time in fashion there. You will see it, Rip. Mark my words. Mark this tape. You will see jean shorts rolling up with people looking like are having just a leisurely day fishing and probably just eating a little bit of the fish immediately out of the water on a grill wearing those. You pull up wearing those jean shorts, Rip. I mean, you might have to stop by Zara, swing by Zara in Paris once you get flying to Charles de Gaulle. You know what's interesting? Keeping a nose out when you land. I think Paris smells like a particular thing. Have I said this before?
No.
I think it has a very, very distinct particular scent. I'm not going to tell you. I want you to get off the plane. It hits me as soon as I get off the plane. Immediately. It also hits me as soon as I get into the city of Paris. It's very distinct smell that I recognize. So check your nose and get back to me. We're going to report back on your first smell test of France. France.
My first prediction is sardines, so I'll let you know on the back end. I can promise you one thing: I'm gonna be there for 10 days. There's gonna be no shortage of one-star moments. I'm gonna mark them all down, remember them. So for this podcast, every week we do one-star moments of the week from our lives. DK, I'm gonna have so many by the end of my trip. But we got some this last week. What do you got for one-star moments of the week?
I'm back. Right before this was affecting me, right before this podcast, I was affected by it. It's back. Listeners, new listeners who are new to this, I live in the middle of nowhere. I work off a septic tank. When it rains, it pours, baby. Sometimes it pours poo water. That thing overflowed on me again. Poo water again. 1 star moment now is becoming the 2 star moment though, Rip, because I'm a professional. The first time that happened to me, that was panic DK. You can look back. I think that was maybe on the Calvin Johnson episode. You want to listen back, listeners? One of those episodes. Panicked, terrified for my life. This is a poo. We discussed poo water, how much of a scary situation that even saying those words bring to a human's mind. So 1 star moment is that that's happened for about 3 days now. Where guess what? Now I know all the water's turned off. Can't use the water. Can't use the toilets. Can't use the sinks. Can't do the dishes. None of that gets used. Very, very precarious situation now because I have to walk to another bathroom. The camping site we went to in where was that, Rip? In Central California. Wonderful
Big Sur.
campsite. Big Sur, ballers. Look at us. You gotta wait. You gotta walk to it. It's not right there by your tent setup. That's how it is now. This one's about a quarter mile, bro, from the house. So I gotta to take. I can still urinate, walk into the forest and urinate. Okay, a couple night peas. I'll be honest. There's been a couple night peas off the balcony the last couple of days because I'm not doing the walk here. But the number two has become a very precarious, like I said, situation. A very dangerous waiting game that I'm playing every morning, both pre-coffee and post-coffee, which is healthy, I think. So I'm okay with it. I feel like you should do two number twos a day. And it's a different conversation. We can get into it now, Rip, if you want to have it. The tank is getting pumped in the next hour, which is glorious. What a reminder. What a blessing. What gratitude in life to get my toilets back, the sinks back. What a human mess. Luckily, Kimmy's gone out of town. She doesn't have to be a part of this situation me and the animals are living in. But I'm so I'm gonna have so much gratitude to get a toilet back on because I'm playing Russian roulette every morning.
Did you hear the gurgling sound again? Because that's what kind of all started it
Heard the
last time.
gurgling sound, doing dishes, heard it, and I heard it, and it was like a missile coming in, but this time we grabbed the towels. Kimmy got in one bathroom, I got in one bathroom. We secured the hiatus. Okay, we secured it, stopped it, boom, got him out, got him here, got the phone call, bang, bang, bang. Bad news is it's just so rainy. The road to get to this particular property is fucking mudded out. Getting things up here is difficult to get pumped. So I got to walk over to the other place to use the bathroom. Could be worse. Could be worse. Couple turtle heads though, and because you want to stay in bed and you think, can I get maybe 15 more minutes here? And then your stomach tells you different. And then it's like, you're rushing to get your clothes on, your slides, and then everything that would be fucked up. Fuck it, you can't get your slides on. Maybe take a slip down the stairs. Just your phone falls out of your hoodie pocket. That's what's happening here.
You've had so many moments in the last 6 months that I so wish there were surveillance cameras out there to see you running from the house to the outhouse with your holding your pants up and just panicking. Like, man, the time that you ran into those llamas or whatever the hell. And like, I need to see surveillance video of this, man. That'd be great social media content.
If there's surveillance video and if anybody is watching security of me peeing off my deck in this situation because I can't use the bathrooms, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. There is nothing more satisfying though than peeing outside, and I will die on that hill. Rip, what's your 1 star moment of the week?
Hey, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, it's my fault. DK, I texted you a picture about 4 hours ago of 24 inches of sub from Subway, about $13 it cost me. There's a code. I don't even put the code out because I can't recommend this. It's my 1 star moment of the week. I fell for it again. I fell for the BOGO offer, the buy one get one from Subway. Looking to save a couple bucks. Value guy at lunch. I got 2 foot long subs. I buy them. They look so good in the pictures on the
Yep.
commercials. I
Yep.
get home. I text you a picture. And I look at the picture after. I'm like, that doesn't even look that good. So anyway, I had them on the counter. I ate the first one in like probably like 4 minutes flat. Just inhaled it. I didn't eat the second one yet because the plan is to save it for lunch tomorrow, which I don't. The shelf life of a Subway sub is probably like an hour and a half. So
Little Caesars Pizza. No, not even 17 to 19 minutes. Little Caesars Pizza range, even. But how so terrible? Completely terrible.
it's been a bad week. I texted you guys another picture earlier this week. I went to a Dodger game on Saturday, bought a Dodger dog on the way out to eat at home, but I wasn't hungry that night, so I saved it for the next day. I ate a leftover Dodger dog that had been in the fridge for 24 hours. Another bad move. I can't keep making these mistakes. I look on social media, I see these guys, one star, Dave Ingram, personal trainer. I see Mark Andrews on there. They're eating so healthy. They would never do this. They would never eat this kind of fast food, but I'm doing it every week. I got to change the lifestyle, DK, because make these one star mistakes every single week, and it keeps happening.
Can't please those trainers, man. I thought I was eating so healthy, and they boiled down what I had for lunch. And as soon as my Mediterranean diet was 65% pita bread, they didn't agree with me. I can't live life without pita bread. They're crazy. You're crazy for getting a Dodger dog and putting it in your pocket and then doing it the next day. You're the real fucking maniac, Rip. That's already on its end of life as you got it in the ninth inning after the game. It was already in ready to all dogs go to heaven. It was in purgatory already. And you put it in your pocket. Where'd you put it? In your fucking glove compartment, or you keep it in your pocket? This matters for the drive home.
It was on the front seat, a 30-minute drive home, but I think sat on the counter for 3 hours that night, then went to the refrigerator. Yeah, just any human
You
being would know.
sacrifice the smell of the Saturn. Now the Saturn's going to completely smell of hot dog too. Just a bunch of one-star moments all over the place in the name of that hot dog, which you ate and then made you feel just like shit, Rip. Health is wealth. One-star recommendation of the week. I need some good stuff. Give me some good stuff in my life, Rip. I'm sick of this specific niche stuff. We're doing only athletic directors. You're recommending only bad food. I'm only Costco. Let's diversify our offerings to our listeners, for crying out loud. No pressure. Rec of the week.
No, this is it. I'm piggybacking off what you mentioned. I didn't think you were going to mention it. You obviously watched it. It's the roast of Tom Brady, the greatest roast of all time on Netflix. I didn't watch it live. It was a live event, but I watched it the following day. Jesus Christ, it was amazing. They did a hell of a job with this. Some really good roast material on there. Obviously, the guy Jeff Ross, but we had so many random celebrities and ex-players going in on him. Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, Julian Edelman, Gronk, and then we had all these comedians, Andrew Schultz, Nikki Glazer. The only, I think, guy that kind of bombed to me was Ben Affleck. Surprisingly, Boston native, but he didn't do that well. He was a one star on there, but everything else was 5 star. Some really good digs at Brady, at Giselle, at everything in life and football. And yeah, that's the wreck of the week, man. It's actually 3 hours long, so I watched it over 2 days with both my wife and I both loved it, and I think it's going to start a trend. There are going to be a lot more of these things.
Netflix live. And there's something about it being live. You didn't know what was going to happen. Like Gronk and Edelman were cracking me up because they were having a lot of fun. There were some hiccups along the way that you wouldn't see on live TV, some reactions too that were kind of like, I thought it kept me, you're right, 3 fucking hours. I thought I was going to tune in for 5 minutes, go back to the A's
Same here.
Guardians game, to be honest with you. And I found myself like, holy shit, who's next? What's next? You're right. Ben Affleck, terrible Ozempic face, Rip. That's what it looks like. You want to know? Look at Ben Affleck in this roast talking about some fucking emailer in Buffalo or something wild. Wasn't even on topic. Kim Kardashian got Roger Goodell style booze, as she probably should have. What are you doing, Kim? Why do you have stage time in this Tom Brady, besides you guys taking money from FTX? But Nikki Glazer, you hit it, killed. All the money stuff with Gronk was just hilarious. Great rack, Rip. It was good. It was, you think they're back. Roasts are back. A
I
lot of
think
people.
roast for professional athletes or celebrities like that, like big time A-list people in a big event. I mean, I don't know how much Netflix made off that, but I got to assume it did well. I think that's going to start a trend with those kind of celebrities.
We'll see. It's one would argue this culture is too split and woke and non-woke for any of this to work. That's why it is interesting that worked. You know what I mean, Rip? So we'll see. Some people can handle it, some people not. This could just be a single one-time Good stuff. It's funny. Netflix Live has made it into our recommendations of the week a couple times on this podcast. If you remember, do you remember one of my prior recs of the week, Rip?
No.
What an asshole. What am I doing? What Dave Chang, live with Dave Chang, Tuesday nights. The
Ah, the
cooking
cooking
show.
show. Yeah, I did watch a little bit of that
You didn't
actually.
like it. You didn't like it. You watched a caviar episode that was also not their best work, Dave Chang show. I'm going to keep it within the podcast family and within the Dave Chang family of food podcasts for my recommendation of the week. On Friday, a podcast drops, and I try to do one podcast a day is how I like to digest it. Otherwise, it gets crazy. You start trying to figure out too much, taking too much. I try to do one a day. Friday for me, I wake up, I get the alert, I'm pumped up during my morning workout is a food podcast, bro. It's called Food News. It's on the Ringer Network. Julia and Jacoby. You know Jacoby, Rip. He used to be on Jalen and Jacoby. He's pretty good.
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty good. So they did this 30, it's 30 minutes. It's on Friday. Awesome, amazing food takes. Good, quick, easy, fun food takes. Learned about coffee, for example, last week and coffee culture in Melbourne, as they say it, Melbourne. They don't say burn, Rip. Melbourne. Let me hear you say it.
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Apparently, huge fucking coffee culture. I had no idea. And they loved it. If you're ever in Melbourne, Rip, order a magic. Get yourself a magic. Trust me. You have any idea what that is? Take a guess.
That's a latte with a Monster Energy drink infused inside there.
So bad. You are non-coffee drinker number one, but it's Vietnamese coffee level of the opposite side of the spectrum of kind of pure coffee. You can't find it on any menu. This is like an In-N-Out secret order. Technically, it's a double shot of Rosetto. Rosetto, I might be saying that wrong, but it's the first 15 seconds of an espresso shot. So it's that freshies of the espresso shot with a little bit of microfoam milk poured over it. It's a little bit of flat white on top of it. That's it, though. It's like the purest of the espresso shot. That will get you local status. That will get you wearing local T-shirts, accepted into the game. You'll be accepted like in Paris, like you're going to get accepted, Rip, when you walk into a fine dining restaurant wearing your 500 level shirt. If you can wear one 500 level shirt, 500level.com shirt, Rip, into a restaurant in Paris, France, and be accepted, who would be on that shirt?
It's probably got to be Rudy Gobert, right? Our guy Rudy.
That was too easy. We already talked about Rudy. You just went back to Rudy. Nobody else comes to mind that would be more intriguing to you.
No, I mean he's beloved in Paris, I think. The only place he's actually liked, I think.
Well, go ahead, Rip. You can move your booty hole away from Victor Wembanyama's face because you just took a deuce all over the Rookie of the Year, Rip.
I don't know if he's on 500 level, to be honest. Let's get Winston on that here. They have any
You need to
Wemby
take a
shirts
look.
on
Take a
500
look on
level?
that. In the meantime, listeners, if you want to do food podcast, Food News, it's on Ringer. It's Fridays. It's fun. And you learn a little bit about new food. I tried for the first time after listening to this episode. I can't get the magic shot, obviously. I'm not in Melbourne. But I went and got a flat white for the first time in my life. I never even heard of that before. Delicious. Next level coffee drinker. I'm up in my game. I'm 40. I'm a man. Rip's reactions, bro. Hit the music. The WNBA just announced that they will begin providing full-time chartered flights to all teams this season. It's incredible progress, Rip, that the WNBA has made just in really a year, not to mention all these sold-out preseason games. Rip, why do people hate on women's sports? What do you say to them? Even guys with daughters. What do you say?
Can I defer that question to our guy Train at Trash Talk Boys? He would say, "Oh, they're losing money. They're gonna fly Southwest and still lose money." Come on, man. We can't put these 6'5" women on commercial flights. We gotta get with the charters. We gotta get with the times. They're professional athletes. Show some respect, people.
Respect them. It's time has come. Get off of it. Get off of your front porch yelling at the kids on your lawn. Get with the times. Rip. Weirdo reporter Greg Doyle has reportedly been suspended and won't attend Indiana Fever game this season after being a creep to Caitlin Clark. More WNBA news for you, Train. Rip. Fun fact, I once picked up this asshole Greg Doyle. This is not a lie. In a hotel shuttle when I was working the front desk for an airport, and I gave him a ride from the train station to the airport. He was pretty creepy, but not completely 100% creepy. He was there to watch Barry Bonds break the record or whatever was going on. Anyway, Rip, what's the most famous person you've ever driven in a car with?
Ooh, I'm gonna go golf cart. Actually, I was actually thinking about this the other day. Mark Harmon, legendary actor Mark Harmon, who I think is still working a lot these days. 25 years ago at the Phoenician Resort in Scottsdale, I gave him a ride in a golf cart from the valet area to a casita that he was staying in. I had no idea who he was, and I was telling him how I used to live in California, and I, was on an extra in a couple movies. And then like the next day I found out it was Mark Harmon. I felt like such a dumbass. He didn't give me any advice or career advice, but he was super nice. So yeah, that's a 1-star celebrity right there. But Mark Harmon, pretty legendary.
1 star. Actually. I mean, kind of. Comedian Adam Land might know him as Leroy Jethro Gibbs on NCIS for any listeners out there. Big Mark Harmon. And you went golf cart, which is such a cop out. Anybody in the car? I'm going to stretch your mind. Nothing in the actual car.
Comedian Adam Lamb, does that count? that's
I'll take it. I'll take it. Dude, it's Dad Bod Summer coming up. What's your go-to jump or dive into the pool move with the kids with your dad bod?
It's the pencil. It's been the pencil for my entire life.
I knew you were gonna say that as the worst one.
I'm not going head first. I'm going feet first, like Slender Man, down like straight up. But the pencil, make no splash like those Olympians. The pencil, you'll never get injured. I'm a risk-free 1-star.
I know you'll pick up all them damn little hoops at the bottom doing the pencil real fast, sliding around like a damn lizard down there, like a damn salamander. At least jackknife in there. Give a little splash for crying out loud. 1-star recruits. We'll be back next week. Hey, Tamua the comedian coming back to the Maui Cultural Center. Get your tickets.
See you next week.